Hello, good evening. It's Donna Carol, and tonight I am going to be channeling Archangel Gabriel, and he's going to be talking about keys to communicating well, keys to good communication. So I need to apologize for being 15 minutes late. My modem decided to go out right before 6 o'clock, and it took me a little bit of time to figure out what was wrong. So I apologize for that. Anyhow, I wanted to mention that we did have a portal on 11/11, November 11th, and that portal, the energy that came through was really, really strong. And sometimes when we have portals, they do knock me out. I get very, very exhausted, and I'll have to spend time in bed, particularly with the Lionsgate portal. That's happened several times. But this portal knocked me out completely, and I was in bed for 2 days, exhausted. And I have been pretty sleepy ever since. I feel like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, going into those fields of flowers that put you to sleep. So I have been really, really sleepy, and I think it's from the ascension energies. So if you're feeling differently than normal, it could be because of this portal. And I'm sure that there's going to be another one on 12/12, although I haven't heard anything about that, but I'm assuming that there'll be another portal on 12/12, which will be intense, just like the one that we just had on 11/11. So anyhow, I just wanted to mention that in case you're having some ascension symptoms. And today is November 15th. I will be channeling again on November 22nd and November 29th. However, I will be taking off the month of December. So there will be no channelings on Sunday nights in December, and I'll be back on January 3rd. I just wanted to let you know. I'm just going to take some time to work on my website and basically straighten myself out with the ascension energies. They do play with me a lot. So trying to think what else. Again, I don't pay too much attention to national events or what's going on in the mainstream because my goal is to ascend. I know that I'm going to the fifth dimension. I know I'm going to end up there, wake up there, and all of the things happening in the third dimension, for me right now, is extraneous. I believe that these times have been predicted by a number of prophets, by a number of masters, Jesus Christ himself. So I know that we're in the end times, the times of great transition. So I'm choosing to try and stay centered, stay grounded, stay in the highest frequency that I can, and just ride that wave into the next dimension. And hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. I have heard some people say that we're in the end of the end as far as the ascension goes, so we'll see. No guides, nobody tells me dates or when it's going to happen, but I do know that the energies are strong and they're just getting stronger, so hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. Okay, so I'm going to go into a trance, a light trance, and bring in Archangel Gabriel. If you find these videos helpful, you can donate on my YouTube channel. There's a section that says donations if you're called to do that. And if you're interested in a reading or purchasing selenite, give me a heads up, give me a call, or email me. I sell beautiful selenite from Utah and New Mexico. And actually, it will be available on my website. My website is being done right now, so you'll be able to purchase selenite on my website in the future. But if you're interested in getting some now, just send me an email. I have pieces from $5 to like $50, $60. And I sell crystal angels as well. So you can see behind me on the massage table, that's all selenite. That's all Utah ice from Utah. And one last announcement is that I will be on the Carrie Murphy Show on Friday, November 20th. This is my third appearance on the Carrie Murphy Show. And I will be channeling the Mother Goddess of Ancient Lemuria on her show. And I will be talking about selenite and what it can do for you and how it works. So if you're interested in getting more information about selenite, tune in Friday. Tune in anyhow, because it should be a good show. She's a good interviewer, and I always have fun when I'm on her show. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to call in my guides, and I will channel Archangel Gabriel with a message for you. So at this time, I'd like to call in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I call in the archangels, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel. I ask for 10,000 warrior protection angels around me and anyone watching this video now or in the future. Please block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms. If anything's released by me or anyone watching the video, I ask the angels to take it to source and transmute it into light. And I want to thank you for helping us all the time. I ask that Yeshua overlight and oversee this channeling. Please help me to make my words clear, accurate, loving, truthful, helpful. And now we'll bring in Archangel Gabriel. I ask him to take over my voice and bring a pertinent message to the audience. Thank you. Good evening. This is Archangel Gabriel, and it is my pleasure to be here with you tonight or whenever you are watching this live stream video at a later date. We, the angels, look after humanity constantly and consistently. The angels have been with humans from the time they first have incarnated upon your planet. Know that we look after you with much love and concern. And of course, you all have guardian angels or particular angels that watch over you specifically when you are going through times of great difficulty, through death, through illness, perhaps through a car accident or an attack from something or someone in your environment. The angels are always present. Please understand that we like to work with humans. It is our calling and our duty, and we appreciate it very much when you converse with us, work with us, ask for our guidance and our help. We will give and give and give to humans until they request our help no more. So I just wanted to send this reminder to you to let you know that we are always available here for you, and we will always help you in whatever ways we can. Oftentimes, we will give you signs of our presence by showing you feathers on the ground, producing a favorite song, one that has meaning for you, or bringing you a scent of something that you are fond of, perhaps a favorite flower, gardenia, or a rose. When you have positive, loving thoughts out of nowhere, sometimes it is at the impress. Angels impress those thoughts upon you. We will also put coins in some of your paths if that is something that resonates with you. So We are here, we do communicate, and we do leave signs. If you would like a sign from me, Archangel Gabriel, or any of the angels, just ask and it will come into your field. We ask that you remain open to our energy. It is not helpful to ask to communicate with us and then shut down thinking that it's not real or we're too busy to help you or things of that nature. When you think negatively and shut off your belief system and openness to the angels, then we have no way to reach you. So remain open, open your hearts, and show us your love, and we will show you our love. So tonight I am here to talk about ways to improve your communication skills. And yes, humans are lucky that they have verbal language and written language and can communicate verbally and in writing. Other animals, of course, are using sound and body language, but they are not able to write down their thoughts and transfer them to another. So I would like to talk about communication and ways to improve your communication with other humans. First of all, communication and the ability to talk and write and have others understand you is a great gift. So often we take it for granted, but understand that those who are deaf or those who are mute would love to be able to do what you do every day on a daily basis, which is talk to others and listen to others. It has been said that listening is the most important part of communication. And yes, it is very important. So number one, the skill that is most needed by many in this area is listening. When someone is speaking to you and would like to get their point across, please give them the respect that you would require for your own communication, which means to listen to them until they are finished speaking. Oftentimes we see, or you might even engage in this behavior when someone brings up a point and it triggers you, or you don't agree with it, or they're talking too long and you're getting bored. You interrupt them and you talk over them. This becomes a jockeying for time. Please do not engage in this behavior. When you are speaking with someone, please listen to them until they are completely done speaking. You should not need a talking stick or to sit in a sacred circle to let people speak without being interrupted. And when people feel like they are truly being heard, they will be more thoughtful in what they are saying. They will try to communicate as effectively and as efficiently as possible, and they won't feel so stressed. They will not tend to get as angry or as triggered in their communication when they feel like they have all the time in the world to say what they need to say. In other words, if there is a sacred space, a holy space given on your behalf for others to speak, and they feel that, then they will not rush through their words or speak derogatively or negatively. At least they will move in that direction. So give others the opportunity to speak and listen with your full intent. Oftentimes we are thinking about our rebuttal, our counter offers, or what we are going to say in response to those who are communicating with us. If you need to do that, we would suggest even taking notes or writing down things, but essentially giving the person the respect to listen without interrupting them and taking that communication in. Listen fully and completely without thinking about other things, especially your reaction or rebuttal to the conversation or speech just held. Secondly, if you can, we would say, please listen with an open heart. Get out of your mind and get into your heart. The mind is attached to your individual ego. The heart is attached to the collective heart of the human beings, which is a group. So open your heart and listen to what the other person is saying, and try to understand their communication from their perspective. This is especially important in parent-child relationships or romantic relationships, where one needs to really put oneself in the other person's shoes to understand what the person is saying. If the person is complaining or speaking negatively, you can always say to that individual, I would like to understand you. I want to understand you. Can we bring down or cut out the emotional cadence in the speech? In other words, if you want to have effective communication, and especially if you are talking with someone who is not going to like what you have to say, or you have to bring up some information that may be construed as negative, then we would say that you need to let your emotions die out. If you are angry, frustrated, sad, or upset about a situation and you need to talk to someone about it, then bring yourself into as neutral a position as possible to speak to the other about your concern. When you talk to someone and you are angry, when you are upset, when you are irritated, and you have had enough and you need to talk to this person and you are in an agitated state, then your conversation can turn into a battle. And the other person is going to feel attacked, and they are going to put up their defenses, their defensive wall, and whatever you are trying to say is not going to get through. As a matter of fact, what can happen is that they will counterattack. They will attack you when you are attacking them, and your conversation soon becomes a fight, and it escalates and it escalates. And nothing is resolved except you start to bring up issues from the past, and you then make a conscious effort to hurt each other with things said that you might later regret. So it is very important, especially with touchy subjects, to approach the person with love, with an open heart, and to speak in a non-triggered way. Get into an emotional state of neutrality before you speak to the person about something that is difficult to converse about. If the other person is not receptive and starts attacking you, bring the conversation back to the points that you want to address. In fact, it is good to tell the person, I need to talk to you about these 3 things, A, B, and C. Present it like an outline. Present it like a term paper, a topic for discussion in a very aloof, non-judgmental, intellectual way almost, When you start attacking someone because you're emotionally upset, you will not get anywhere and the situation will not be resolved. It is very important to have honest communication. Number 3, be honest in your conversations. Most relationships end up failing because there is not enough honesty in the interchange between two individuals. The energy is not pure, it is not clear, it is not clean, and it is not honest. Honesty means that you are in a position to be and feel vulnerable. If you are wearing a mask in your actions and communications, others will see that. If you are not vulnerable in your communications, others will feel that, and they will feel that you are not being true, that you are not being honest, and that you are not being respectful. If you want to have others respect you, if you want to see others with integrity, see yourself with integrity, and have others see you with integrity, then you must be honest. This does not mean that you have to be cruel. You can still be honest without being cruel or hitting below the belt. With honesty comes trust and openness. So for a relationship to really work and conversations to really get somewhere, you have to have trust, openness, open communication, respect, and honesty. So when people are honest, some people are blunt, some people are blatantly disregarding another person's emotional response with their honesty. You must always be considerate about another person's feelings when you are having a conversation. Again, you must put yourselves in their shoes. If you're saying something that might hurt the person might take negatively, then you need to really think about your presentation and how to communicate the concern openly, honestly, but without running ramshot over a person or hurting another person's feelings. Sometimes a person's feelings will get hurt regardless, but there are ways to temper the blow. And great communicators understand this, and they always look at the words that they are creating from their audiences or from the other person's perspective. So be honest, but not so honest that you are hurtful or you are deliberate in hurting another person's feelings. Some people are very emotional and very sensitive, and they get hurt easily. Those people have to understand that not all conversation is an attack, and they must work on not taking things so personally. Remember, words are coming from another's vision, another's mouthpiece, and they're reflecting that other person much more than you are being reflected. So people that are overly sensitive do need to work on not taking things so personally and to develop a thicker skin, while people with a thick skin and those that are very insensitive need to focus on developing sensitivity to others and catching the nuances in a conversation. The other thing that we can say about conversing well is to get to the point. Don't run round and round and round a subject or a topic by talking about what happened 2 weeks ago or 9 years ago or what's going to happen in the future. Those who communicate effectively, communicate efficiently, get to the point. If you're having an issue with the way someone is always tardy or late for your appointments, then you can communicate this in 1 or 2 sentences. Now, it is important to let the person know that A, you're late when we have appointments. 2, this is unacceptable to me. My time is valuable. And 3, if it happens again, we are not going to have appointments, or there will be a consequence to this action. Many people do not change because they understand that when others request them to change, their romantic partners or their parents, their mother or their father, they understand intrinsically that they don't have to change because there's not going to be any repercussions for them to be continually tardy. So if someone is not punctual and this is impacting your daily life, your work, your schedule, then you need to tell them so, and you also need to give them a repercussion. If you're tardy one more time, then our business relationship has to end. If you're tardy one more time for our social interaction, I'm not going to have any more social interactions with you. This might leave you friendless, but you will at least have your respect and integrity. Those who get walked on permit themselves to get walked on. If you are a doormat, it is because you let yourself be a doormat. We are speaking with love here, but we understand that humans aren't perfect and that sometimes people are going to be late and sometimes people are going to have extenuating circumstances, even emergencies. But the reality is if someone's engaging in a pattern that is disliked by you, many people do it because they know they can get away with it. And there are the testers. Testers are people who will manipulate and control a situation. Basically, how far can I push this person in the corner, or push this person, or manipulate this person until they fight back? So you must understand that when you're communicating, you're dealing with all types and all frequencies, all types of people, all types of frequencies, all types of belief systems, everything. So to communicate effectively, you have to be in as neutral a position as possible. We all come to our communications from our own individual backgrounds, meaning religion, socioeconomic status, race, country, ethnicity. All of these things factor into our belief systems, which factor into our communication methods. Of course, it is difficult to put yourself sometimes in another person's shoes, but you need to try. You need to try, and you need to place yourself in someone else's shoes to look at the whole conversation from their vantage point. So understand this. When we, the angels, help humans, we are always putting ourselves in humans' shoes. No, we do not have the constitution, the makeup of an individual, of a human. We are very different creatures. We do not have the intellect of a human. We do not have the emotional makeup of a human. But as we work with humans, we try to see things from their perspective. And this is what would help you in your conversation to do the same. Lastly, even though you put yourself into a neutral position when you talk to someone, we would say that in the interest of being a loving and kind human being, to be loving and kind. So even if you are delivering bad news or even neutral news, make an effort to lift someone's spirits. Make an effort to be loving. Make an effort to make someone smile. If you are ending up a conversation with your boss and you're talking about some things that have concerned you in the office. When you are done, with honesty and openness, tell your boss, hey, thank you for bringing in those brownies last week. They were delicious. I really appreciate it. Speak positively. Speak lovingly. Speak honestly. If you did not like the brownies, then don't mention that. But find something that your boss is doing right, that you appreciate. Build your boss up. This is true with any type of conversation that you have with any individual. Think about building them up. Understand that this has been said by many, but it is very true that people have all kinds of hardship, sufferings, and you have no idea what an individual is going through. And so, first of all, putting people into a certain group, whether it's socioeconomic or by country, oh, that person has it so easy because they make $300,000 a year. Well, you are not in a position to judge that. Maybe that person worked very, very, very hard to make that kind of money. Maybe that person is supporting their aged parents. Maybe that person feels so bad about themselves and has such poor self-worth that the only way they can feel good about themselves is to say to the world, I make $300,000 a year. Aren't I a great person? The fact of the matter is that everybody has their weaknesses. Everybody has their strengths. And people are undergoing all kinds of sufferings and hardships that you have no note of, have no concept of. We, the angels, see this. You might be dealing with someone who you think has it all, but they get migraines every other day and are very, very sick. So understand that everybody is suffering in their own way, in some way, upon the planet. Nobody has a perfect life and a perfect situation and a perfect set of circumstances, even though it might appear like that on the outside. In fact, some of the most successful people outwardly, some of the most accomplished people outwardly have very, very deep wounds of the psyche. And those who are very, very wealthy sometimes are engaged in all kinds of things that are not even of the light. So stop your judgments, approach individuals with love, openness, honesty, and integrity, and try not to take their attacks or responses to you personally. Understand that everyone has a particular frequency and a background that is going to affect their conversation, and their frequency might not resonate with yours, but you might have to dig a little deep within yourself to find understanding and love for someone who on the surface comes across as brash or insensitive. But this is where you must think about, I really don't know who this person is. I don't know their deep longings, their deep troubles. I need to be open and loving and have an open mind and an open heart. And if you take this approach, it will hold you in good stead, and people will appreciate it and they will love you for it, because very few people at this moment in time take this approach. So these are our suggestions to you. We have many more suggestions for effective communication, but at this time, I think this is enough for you to digest. I want to say that I love you. I appreciate your efforts in improving yourself, or else you wouldn't have listened to this channeling. And I want you to know that you have many angels at your back who are there for you and ready to help at a moment's notice. So please call on us, utilize us, talk to us. We love it. We love you. We love talking with you, and we are here to help. So we want to say have a happy Thanksgiving in the United States, and we bring you and wish you nothing but light. Namaste. And now the channel will come back. Well, thank you. I want to say hi to Gary. How are you? I hope you're doing well and everything's going well. So I want to thank Archangel Gabriel. Appreciated that. Especially about taking a step back and getting into a neutral place before you have a difficult or emotionally triggering conversation with someone. I think that's really good advice, because sometimes when we're really emotional, we can't control ourselves, and we say things that we might later regret. I know I have, and I tend to be a communicator, a conversationalist, and it's true, I have a way with words. I can find the right word that is really going to get someone. And so I have put those days behind me, and I try to be very soft and loving in my communication. As soft and as loving as I can be. So I want to thank Archangel Gabriel. I thought those were good points. And we love you. We appreciate everything that you do for us. So I want to tell everybody again, sending you so much love, sending you light. I know that it's not been easy going through these energies. The 1111 portal ascension is, I think Gary said, it's not for sissies. So that's true. And I just want to say, I know everyone has their own hardships, their own issues that they're working on, and it's different for everyone. But even though we don't know or see each other's issues, I send you so much love and light, and I hope that all of your issues and any problems that you're having get resolved in the best way possible. So happy Thanksgiving. Again, I will be channeling 2 more weeks in November, but I'm taking off December, and I will be back in January. And I will see you then. And have a great week. Bye-bye.